Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If today is your first time of coming across my channel, you are welcome. So in my previous video, we drafted this pattern for this dress. So in this video, we're going to be sewing it. So I've gone ahead to cut out my pattern on my fabric, and I did the same thing for the lining as well. I also went ahead to iron ST on it to make it a bit strong. And I also went ahead to cut out my wadding, and I will leave half an inch from the upper side, which will serve as my stitching allowance to it. And I also went ahead to cut my wadding for the side as well. So what I did is, on the sides I left half of an inch for stitching allowance on the side of the cup area and in the middle as well. So right now we're going to be sewing this together, and to do that, you place your side to the middle of the fabric. Then we're going to sew around this to the other side using half of an inch. You place the other side as well, and we'll sew using half an inch. So I'll quickly go and do that now, and I'll be right back. So yes guys, I've gone ahead to sew it, and this is how it is. Can you see how the bust is standing firm? So what I'm going to do next now is I'll get my scissors, and I'm going to notch the cup area. So go ahead and notch your cup area like this, just the way I'm doing it here. Just make little notches, and be careful so you don't cut through the part you've sewn. Just be careful and cut gently till you get to the end of the cup area. Then you do the same thing for the other side as well. The notch here, and you do the same thing for the other side. Go ahead and notch the other side. Like I said earlier, be careful so you don't cut through to the side that you've sewn. So this is me trying to cut through to my cup area here. So guys, I'm done cutting through. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get this to my iron, and I'll iron it open. So guys, I'm done ironing. As you can see, this is how it's looking. You can see the cup area is looking so firm. So this is it here. This is how it's looking. I've also went ahead to iron it out, and I've done the same thing for my lining as well. So go ahead and join your lining the same way that you joined the fabric. So this is my lining piece. I've gone ahead to join it the same way. I also went ahead to iron it out here. So this is it here. So now we'll keep this one. I'll take this aside and work on the back of our dress. So this is the back of our dress here. I'll just remove the pins, and this is it. So at this side that we have our darts, I'm going to fold it in like this. Fold in your darts like this and sew with the half of an inch that we left for our darts. I'll do that for both sides and on the lining as well. So I've gone ahead to sew it on both sides of the fabric, and I did the same thing for the lining, and I also went ahead to iron it out just to make it look very neat. So now this is it. I'll get my front and my back piece together. I will place it shoulder to shoulder. So get your back and your front and place it shoulder to shoulder, right side facing each other. This is how I normally like turning my 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 blouse. So place it together shoulder to shoulder like this, right side facing each other. Place it on the shoulder, making sure it's matching each other. I'm going to pin this down right now here. Just pin this down, and I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. My shoulder to shoulder, the front and the back, shoulder to shoulder like this, and I'll pin this down. I'll pin it in place. You can go ahead and sew it without pinning it down, but I like pinning down. Like I always say, pinning is an essential part of sewing. So I'll just pin this down here. Then I'll take this to my sewing machine now, and I will sew with 1/2 inch on both sides of this top. I'll do the same thing for the lining as well. I'll get my back lining. I'll place it to the front. Make sure it's front facing each other. They are both facing each other. And I'll pin this down the same way I did for the fabric. Pin this down. I'll pin the other side as well. Here, I'm just trying to place it properly. Just pin this down here. Then I will take this to my sewing machine as well, and I will sew with 1/2 inch on both sides. I'll do the same thing for the other side, and I'll do the same thing for this piece as well. 1/2 inch. I'll sew it on both sides at the shoulder. So let me quickly take this to my sewing machine. I'll be right back. So guys, I've gone ahead to sew that. So you can see I've joined it on the shoulder on the fabric, and I also went ahead to do the same thing on the lining as well. So I'm going ahead to do the same thing on the lining as well. So right now I'm going to place the lining on the fabric like this. This is how I like sewing my blouse together with the lining. I like having this concealed. I like having this concealed inner finishing, so that the side seam, everything will be inside. So this is it. I'll place it together like this, making sure every part is aligned. I'll place it like this. I'll place the back properly, align it properly as well. Just arrange it properly, making sure everywhere is aligning like this right here. So now I will go to my sewing machine and I will sew the neckline from the back to the front. Sew the neckline all the way around from the front to the back. Only the neckline. I'll be sewing only the neckline. So I'll take this to my sewing machine and I'll sew only the neckline. I'll go ahead and top stitch as well. So I've gone ahead to do that. I also went ahead to top stitch it, as you can see right here. So this is it here. Please guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, share with your friends and family. So next I'll place the sides together like this, fabric and fabric. This is fabric and this is the front. So I'll place the back fabric on the front fabric like this, by the side like this, and I'm going to be sewing with the 1 inch allowance that I left when I was drafting it. So I will place it like this and I will sew it down with the 1 inch allowance that was left while drafting it. I'll do the same thing for the other side as well. I will take the front pattern fabric, only the fabric, not the lining, only the fabric, and the fabric for the back, only the fabric as well, and I would sew with the 1 inch allowance that I left while drafting the pattern. So I'll go to my sewing machine and do that. I'll do the same thing for the lining as well. So this is it. I've done the same thing for the lining, lining to lining, fabric to fabric, and I sewed with the 1 inch allowance that we left while drafting it. Can you see how neat the inside is looking? So this is it. This is how I like my blouse to be. So this is it. I also went ahead to iron this. So this is how it's looking, so neat. So I like this concealed method. This is how I like my blouse. So guys, this is how the inside is looking, very neat. So this is it here. So now we're going to be working on the down part of this blouse. So place the front of the dress to the front of the lining and we'll stitch the down side of it. We want to seal up the down area, so place it like this and sew from the other end of it to the other side of the fabric. Remember that we left our stitching zipper allowance, so you can go ahead and close up your zipper allowance now and sew to the other end of it at the down side. I hope you understand what I'm trying to explain here. So I'll quickly do that now and I'll show you how it is. So guys, I've gone ahead to do that. As you can see, I've gone ahead to close up the downside of this dress. So now the sleeve parts, I've gone ahead to make this sleeve. I want this sleeve to be very big. So this sleeve is measured 13 inches and it's about 45 inches long, and I want it to be 13 inches. That's the length of the sleeve. So I'll run a gather stitch at the top part of this, a gather stitch. I'll run a gather stitch there. I also went ahead to make a casing for my elastic because I'll be inserting an elastic into this opening, so that's why I made an opening there. So I'll just stitch up. I'm going ahead to stitch up this dress. So sorry guys, I'm a bit fast. I'm going ahead to stitch up the sleeve to the dress. So now I want to fix my elastic to it. So this elastic is measured 9 inches. So I'll just get my safety pin and I'll try and insert it through that casing that I left open. So I'll just place it there and just drag it till I get to the other end of it. Please guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll be glad to answer. So this is it right here. I'll just seal it up and close up the sides of this blouse, and that will be all what of this dress. Next I will go and fix in my zipper, and that will be all. Thank you so much for watching, and this is the final look of our dress.